Welcome to the Influency Podcast. I'm Hadar, and today we are going to listen to a real life story about English success. You are going to listen to an interview with one of my students who is going to tell you what is possible now that English is no longer an obstacle. Let's listen.
We're going to talk to Tram, and I'm so excited to welcome her. So Tram is from Vietnam, and she will share with you her journey and her success path and what has helped her become more confident in English. And now I'm going to welcome Tram, who is going to tell you from her experience.
Hello, Hada. Hello, everyone.
How are you?
Thank you so much for... Yeah, I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm good. I'm doing really, really well.
Yeah, me too. And I just want to say thank you for this opportunity. And thank you so much for our dear friends for their huge support. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. And, it's worth every minute. So tell us a little bit about you and where you're from.
Yeah, so let me introduce a little bit about myself.
Please do.
As you know, I'm Vietnamese and I'm currently living in Vietnam. And about my English learning journey, I have been studying English for 8 years now. And at the beginning of my journey, I just learned English in order to get a better job after graduating from my university.
Yeah.
And after working for about 3 years, I changed my mind. I wanted to make a career change. So I quit my job and started pursuing my dream job as an English teacher.
Amazing.
So yeah.
What made you decide that this is what you want to do?
It's quite complicated to explain, but basically, back then I didn't really enjoy my job.
Yeah.
And honestly, I myself didn't value my job, the work that I do. And while working at my company, I always thinking about being an English teacher. But, back then I didn't feel confident in my English because I didn't speak so well at that time. So I was reluctant many times to make this decision.
Yeah.
And then, when the COVID-19 hit Vietnam, then I have a lot of time to for a self-reflection. And then I was because I don't like my job. So it's most of the time I feel very boring.
Yeah.
So I was what the point to live a life just to be boring? Because during the pandemic, there are some bad scenarios happening, and it's make me think that way. And so from then I decided to quit my job and pursue my dream job.
This is so inspiring to see because on one hand, yes, the pandemic pushed a lot of us to make changes, right? Things that we were not happy with. It helped us to reflect on our lives and say, is this really what I want? Because all of a sudden you are, if you're doing something that you don't love, or people got to spend more time at home and they're like, I like this freedom. I want more of that in my life. And also just realizing the fragility of life and how everything can close on you all of a sudden. It's just I need to do what I'm passionate about. Now, I know a little bit about you and you've been my student, and English is not just, oh, I want to be an English teacher. English is a passion for you, right? It's something that you're really passionate about both as a learner. And this is why you're I want people to feel that passion. And this is in a way why you want to become a teacher.
Yeah, really. Exactly.
So once you decided that you want to quit your job, kudos for that. And you said, okay, here's my dream. What do I want to do that. What was the biggest challenge or obstacle that you felt like you were facing?
Well, honestly, back then, my biggest challenge is my English, especially my speaking skill. Because I made good at writing, but my speaking skill weren't so good. And, let me add a little side track here. because before I quit my job, I was working as a travel company, and some of my bosses was native speaker. I mean, English speaker. And most of the time, I just try to avoid having a conversation with them because my speaking skill weren't so good. So yeah, that is my biggest challenge. And then in order to become an English teacher in Vietnam, I need to take the IELTS exam and also to get the TESOL certificate, which teaches people how to teach English. And I need a lot of money. So I spend most of my saving. In fact, all of my saving to pay for the courses. So yeah, that is the second biggest challenge for me. But lucky for me that I have a huge support from my family, especially my father and my sister. So yeah, I really appreciate that.
It's so beautiful to hear. I can't stress enough how important it is to have that support from your family, but also how important it is to invest in yourself. Like you made that decision. And of course, you could have done something else with the money than to pay for, those university courses that are very costly. And, you also ended up joining my course, which is an investment in yourself. And a lot of people would be like, no, you should, go on vacation or invest it in the stock market or buy a house or all of these things. But I am such a firm believer of investing in yourself because that's the best ROI that you can create, because the outcome of that investment is endless, especially when you're giving yourself that opportunity to discover, to have an occupation that you love. So good for you. Wow. Amazing. Yes. Okay. So you enrolled in those courses.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So then so you started learning how to become a teacher and you started taking those classes. What was your English learning journey? What did it look like back then? How did you practice? What did you do to improve?
Well, basically, before I joined New South, I had been studying English for the IELTS exam for over 1 year. And as you may know, even though I had put a lot of effort to improve my speaking skill, but I didn't see much progress in my English. Yeah. And back then, I remember that my biggest problem in my speaking skill is fluency. So whenever I receive any questions, I didn't know how to answer it. I had no ideas. Or even if I can answer that question, then I couldn't speak more than 1 minute. And within that 1 minute, I had a lot of hesitation. So
when was that?
You can imagine.
Just for the record, when was that you experienced that? How long ago was it?
Over 1 year. Believe it or not, over 1 year.
I do not believe it. I do not believe
it. Yeah, really.
Wow.
Yeah, so I just want to say that's the reason why when I book the IELTS test, I panic, literally panic. Yeah.
Okay, so before we go into your New Sound story and what has changed there, I want you to maybe more specifically talk about the things that you did that you thought would help you improve, yet they didn't, right? They hadn't. For people who are maybe doing the work, learning for the IELTS exams but still not seeing progress. What was it that you're doing that only now in hindsight, was not valuable?
Well, during that year, I tried many different methods. Basically, I will practice on my pronunciation. And sometimes I practice shadowing as well. Yeah, I find a lot of articles or videos on the internet, and I try to consume the language as much as I can. And then I recording myself, just audio recording. But I didn't like my voice back then, so I rarely listen to it and analyze it, really. And then after that, I realized that my learning methods didn't serve me well. So I like seek for advice on the internet, and I read a book, which is called The Language Learner Guidebook by Dr. Shandisha. And I really like that book, and I highly recommend that book. So I still remember three major advice that the author gave to us, like second language learner. Like, first of all, in order to become a good English speaker, we need to like study outside of the classroom and practice our English every day. And second, we need to learn with a community. And third is, we need to be willing to step out of our comfort zone, making new friends and new experiences. And I did exactly the same, but it doesn't work for me. And I didn't know why, because I believe that the advice that I received from Dr. Shandisha effective. And I believe that. But I didn't know what's wrong with me, why I follow exactly his instruction, but I didn't see much progress in my English. And I only realized that when I joined New South. Really.
Wow. So share with us your discovery. Why was it not working for you? Because it sounds on the paper,
Yeah.
like a legit, very practical. I follow, a lot of those things, especially community, get out of your comfort zone. What was different for you?
Well, let me talk about it one by one. So first of all, we need to practice our English every day. And after finish the class with a teacher, we need to study independently on our own. So when I joined your course, I realized that the problem is my speaking practice habit was so bad. And so let me tell you how bad it is. Like every time when I practice my English, I try to pronounce every single word within a sentence fully. So as a result, I have a choppy speech. And when I speak to someone, then I feel like I need to put a lot of effort to complete a sentence because I need to pronounce every single word exactly. And then when I learn your course, I also learn about sentence stress and how to use my voice. Yeah, module 9, which is my favorite. Before I joined your course, I didn't know that I didn't know anything about how to control my voice. And I didn't think that learning how to control our voice has anything to do with our English in general. So yeah, that's for the first one.
Amazing. And like also that you were willing to do the work, because it does require work and the practice and and being committed to doing it and to discovering new things. We're such a habitual creatures, and it's so easy to just be like, oh, okay, it's not working for me, or, it's probably not right. But you really kept trying until it didn't feel artificial anymore. And you can definitely hear it in your speech now. It's so obvious that all the work that you've done. So that's number one. And what's number two?
Well, for number two, we need to learn with a community. So before I joined your course, I did go to some communities on the internet, but like I said, it doesn't really help to improve my speaking skill. And then I realized that it's because the communities that I joined weren't really active, really, because we have no lesson, no instructional videos, and we only meet each other once a week. So we don't have much time to talk to each other. And yeah, most of the time we just have enough time to introduce about ourselves. So we didn't have an opportunity to talk about many topics. So that's why. And
And
other than that,
also in that case, when you have a very limited relationship, then it always stays within that introductory level. So you're not expanding your abilities. So you always talk about yourself and where you're from and why you're here and all of that. And then when you do it again and again, you get better at speaking about that, but you're not challenging yourself to speak about more things or proving to yourself that you can.
yeah, exactly. And also, like, as you can see, because we just have enough time to like introduce about ourselves, so we don't really have time to be connected to other people.
Yeah.
So yeah, because learning English is about making connection, but we don't have the chance to be connected with other people. So it's would prevent me from developing my English.
So what was different in New Sound? Like what gave you that different experience with the community? Can you tell a little bit about that uniqueness of the community?
Well, I think the most important thing, like the most outstanding things in your community is the connection between the learners and also with the coaches, the ambassador, and with you as well. We don't just stay there to learn the language. We really make connection with each other. We get to know each other very well, and we listen to other stories, like personal experience. And myself personally, I learned a lot from their stories. And many of them also gave me a lot of support and advice, what I can use, like apply to my daily life and also my career path. So I really appreciate that. And other than that, so as you can see, our community is very active. There are a lot of activities like challenges.
It's really the secret because I think it's so important that English becomes the means to get that connection. And it's not so much about let's make connection to practice English. No, it's just like that deep need to get to know each other. And the thing about the community is that I think the type of program that I offer, people who are interested in mindset, like people who only want something very specific, they're not going to sign up for the course. So people who are interested in personal development are usually attracted to this program. And this is why there are like-minded people that inspire each other. And this is why there's more common ground, I think, in the community. So what Tram said was so brilliant, and I cannot wait to hear the last part about the learning journey and the third part where she tried to get out of her comfort zone and why it didn't work for her. Okay, so I'm going to let you speak and talk about the third point.
The third point. So I was talking about stepping out of our comfort zone, making new connections. My experience is when I first joined New South, I didn't really want to record my video and post it on our Facebook group. It's only happened when I joined the conversation groups with other people, and they started asking me, have you post any videos on our Facebook group? Because I didn't see you. Yeah, something like that. And they also gave me a lot of encouragement to do the same thing that they did. So I started recording some video and then post them on Facebook. And at the beginning, I just set my goal, like recording 3 videos per week and then post them on Facebook.
So I'm just going to summarize what you did, because before you talked about the 3 things that are supposed to help you develop and improve. And you said how New Sound has helped you do that. And the first one was to learn outside of class. And you said that, you have to, that what you learn in New Sound is to learn the things that you really need to improve and learn about all the elements of speech. And then number 2, to really make connections and to be a part of the group. And then number 3, to get yourself outside of the comfort zone. But in New Sound, you actually used the community and, you felt obligated in a way to really get out of your comfort zone, and that has helped you improve. Now, I'm just going to ask you one last question and give you some time to talk about it. But tell me, what is the thing that you're most proud of right now? Like, what is your biggest achievement, and what is the main difference in how you feel right now in your English? And then also talk to me about your goals and what you see for yourself now that English is no longer an obstacle.
So yeah, my biggest achievement since I complete New South is my fluency feels much better than before because I can have a natural conversation with other people in English, and I feel more comfortable when I speak in English, and also feel confidence as well. Even though I still have to learn a lot more, but for now, I feel very happy with my English because I found the methods, the study methods, and I can see that my English is getting better. So for me, that is enough. My job is just keep going and practice. And so the second question is about my future, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So for my future, after complete New South, I started thinking about myself 2 years later, 5 years later, or even 20 years later. When I become a fluent speaker and I can speak English freely, effortlessly, and most importantly, I can inspire other language learners, especially my students, can do the same thing. Because I believe that as long as we keep going and long enough with the right techniques, we all can communicate in English very well. It's just a matter of time. Yeah.
Oh, this is so good and so inspiring. Tram, you are a gift to the world and to the English learning world, because I have no doubt that you're going to be an amazing teacher, already are, an amazing teacher, and you're going to bring all that knowledge and motivation and kind of like deep understanding of what is needed. You're going to be able to transfer it to your students. And I'm so happy for them. And I'm so proud to be a part of your journey. And if you don't mind, one last question for people who are not sure if they should join New Sound or not, what would you tell them? Like, if they're not sure if New Sound is right for them for whatever reason.
Well, I will tell them from my hands-on experience, like my first-hand experience. If you have been studying so hard to learn the language, but you didn't see any progress in your English, it doesn't mean that you don't have a knack for learning English. You just need a method, and you can find it in New South. And with New South, it's just not about learning English. It's also about many other things. Like it makes you feel happier in life and gives you the encouragement and also some valuable advice to achieve other goals in other aspects of life. So it's your choice, but this is from my experience. So I highly recommend you to join New South.
Tram, you are such a joy. Thank you so much for this. And I wish you the best of luck. And you know that you have our eternal support as a learner and as a teacher. So I want to say thank you so much for this time. And thank you for being my student. It's an honor.
Well, thank you so much to you too, Hada. None of this could have happened if I haven't met you. So I really feel grateful that I have a chance to study with you and with our friends here. So I really appreciate this opportunity. And if I can do anything to contribute to our community, it's my honor to do that. So, yeah.
See, the people that we have in New Sound is just like pure joy to be around and to work with. And I know that we kind of like finished, but just one more thing about what you said, which is so powerful. People learn English for years. You've studied it for 8 years. Like, people put in so much work and they don't know that it's there. You know, the work is there. And like, it's not that they don't get the language, they just need a method to let it all out. or to learn it a bit more effectively. And that is the idea of New Sound. Really, like we really want to like elicit the language that you already know, help you get it out and to start communicating. So what you said was spot on, and it's just to remind everyone that it's possible. Tram, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Heather.
Amazing conversation. Thank you, Tram. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Yeah, thank you, Heather. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.